Salutations, sweet babies. So it's a little bit of a slow moving, gloomy Thursday, which feels just very like the energy is slow. Not necessarily low, but it feels just slow moving, and there's like a light drizzle. It's super cloudy and overcast, and it felt like a good time to move inward. And I think collectively we may also be feeling this call to move inward. And I spoke about this in a previous reading, so you may be collective who's been listening along or not, because lately I haven't had a ton of views. So this might be just like your first time here and listening. And if that's you, thank you so much for being here. I am Hannah, aka Bunny, on the internet spaces. I'm a professional model, a mindset coach, and I'm very much into energy work, the energy I bring to the world, and really making sense of the energy that is flowing back to me. And I like to do that with oracle cards. And right now, it just feels like a really beautiful, powerful time to move inward, to bring our focus to our internal world, our feelings, our emotions, our innermost thoughts, our philosophies, our thinking patterns, right? Just really doing a deep exploration of self and wanting to really be not only aware, but at peace with parts of ourselves that we know are just capable of serving us for a higher and greatest good. So the card that's pulled out here for us, I have us with separate piles, so I'm not going to have this intro be too long. If you want to just go ahead and figure out which pile you're feeling drawn to, I'm going to have the thumbnails listed below, but the overall theme is about healing. So we're going to talk about what each pile is really looking into healing and sort of how they're moving through this time that we move inward. You know, with the winter season, we're going to be asked to be still, go within and reflect and heal. And this is a very important part of the journey that many people either get thrown off from because it's too challenging, or because they don't know where to start, or because they just want to be distracted from it. So kudos to you, collective, for being here looking for wisdom and insight on how to move forward through your healing journey. So go ahead, take a moment, breathe, and feel into what pile you think is going to be the pile with insights, clarity, wisdom, healing offerings for you. And as always, to really receive the good love and energy that I infuse into my readings, make sure you interact in some way. If you're not subscribed, I welcome you to subscribe if any of these readings feel insightful to you, so you can keep up with some more insights, cosmic insights, and interact with a comment, drop a comment or just accept and receive the good love and energy if you so choose. But regardless, there's wisdom and insight for you. So I will see you at your timestamp. Okay, so pile number 1. I first of all just felt like the energy was very vibrant and lively here. You're somebody who probably goes for things. You don't really think twice. You kind of just go off of an impulse or an instinct rather. But sometimes you can be a little impromptu is the word that's coming forward. Fly by the seat of your pants might be another way that people describe you. And this is not a negative thing. This is how you move and operate and flow through the world. But we're going to talk about why the way that your energy is showing up is asking for some healing. Okay, so what in the world? Oh my god, I pressed on the recline button. I just went for a little trip there. Oh my goodness, that was funny. Sometimes it feels like you're going for a ride. I'm gonna just like take that from my little whoopsie daisy, just press the button and now I'm going moving. You have this real feeling that you're on a journey. Definitely a journey of enlightenment, a journey of tapping into your gifts and your infinite potential. But there's a lot of focus on spiritual enlightenment. There's also a lot of focus on the family tree and your ancestry and your lineage. And a lot of people in your family are really important for your enlightenment journey in one way or another. That's for you to discern. But in no way are any of the challenges that you face in your life meant to hinder you or stop you from reaching a potential. And we're going to pull a couple extra clarifier cards for you, pile 1. Right here in the cards, it says you made a decision to work on your inner healing. You may be working through ancestral traumas. You might also be a collective who listened to my previous reading as well, because we did talk a lot about that. You're somebody who really needs to maybe notice what's available and what's unavailable for you. You need to notice when doors have closed on things, or better yet, have an awareness of when things are open or a door has opened for you, and really seeing the potential and your opportunities when they show up. There's something about you being very energetic and just you have a lot of energy and you go for things. But I think sometimes what can hold you back is this feeling of like not knowing when something is available for you or unavailable for you. And more specifically, when to close the door on something and realize that something is a waste of your time or just simply unavailable or over for you. This has been like what's created challenges in your past, and you've made a decision to work on inner healing. I'm seeing specifically ancestral healing, whether this is healing something between a family member or healing karmic patterns or family patterns, ancestral patterns, or whatever. And a need for finding more information before you do too much effort or do too much work, okay? Because sometimes you're gonna just realize that it was actually a waste of your efforts and it was a waste of your time, that you put so much energy and effort into something, and maybe even healing something that you just needed more information around. It's just like this need to slow down, don't overwork yourself, and find out more information before you work super hard on things. I'm just kind of getting the sense of you being somebody who needs to kind of maybe like put all their ideas into like a chronological order. Three, 3. Wow, ancestral trauma. Ask for help. New moon. I can go the distance. 10-10. Follow your bliss. There's something here about planes being significant. Something about attending a wedding might be significant. A honeymoon phase might be significant. You might be somebody who tends to maybe be fantasy driven, or like not okay, I'm just gonna say it. You are very much like ahead in the clouds, but I also see you being very like hopeless romantic. You romanticize your life again, none of these things are negative things necessarily, but you need to be very much aware of what you're expecting and make sure that what you're expecting isn't coming from a place of the things that you need to heal from, like things that are patterns, things that you've seen passed down in your family, because I'm seeing ancestral traumas right here. Like, make sure when it comes to your expectations, specifically around, I would say, heart-centered things, that you really just follow your bliss and recognize that you can go the distance. It's okay to ask for help. 1010 here is significant for me, and recognizing that the cycles are broken. So you are still doing healing work, and that's great, and I think that that's very important. We wouldn't be here as a collective for this reading if you didn't have more on your journey, as the card says, to go. However, I do see that in a lot of ways you have already broken these cycles, and a lot of these things. Oh, for a second I thought my phone died. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. It's kind of the energy of, I think, you collective. You're a little all over the place. Sometimes you can be a bit scattered, a bit reckless even, a little distractible. That's okay. I see that you're really doing a lot of making sure that you don't overwork yourself, don't burn out, and don't put too much energy into too many different things. Don't spread yourself too thin. But yeah, like I was saying, 1010 here is significant, and to me, to say that not only are you focused on your inner healing and making sure that these patterns and these ancestral traumas don't become cyclical for you and keep playing out over and over again in your life, you have that awareness, you've done work through that, but I also see that whatever it is that you're still working on in that regard, of whatever cycle or things that you're trying to work through your ancestral trauma, they will be broken. It will be finalized. It will be finished through you. And the new moon is going to be significant. 333 is significant for you, collective, as well as 27. I'm also going to say 15. All right, so that's my reading for you on where to really focus your energy in your healing, collective. I'm really looking forward to pulling more cards for you as we go through this beautiful womb of the Wheel of Seasons of winter. And I hope that you will listen along for some more of that. And if you feel so inclined to listen to the other piles, sometimes each pile might have a little bit of something in there for you. Feel free to go for it. I also encourage you to check out my other readings on my channel. Okay. Pile 2. All right, so pile 2, you're a very highly intuitive bunch. You're very much present in your body, and you feel the feels. And I'm talking on more than just an emotional place. Like, you don't just feel like people's mood affects your mood, like an empathetic type of thing, but no, you feel whispers from the divine. Ooh, it just got super still and super quiet. And that's what I feel like is very truthful for you, is that you're able to go to this place within yourself that feels really still, very peaceful, very quiet, and you let yourself be led from what shows up for you there. And I think it happens more somatically for you, collective, than maybe if you were to think with your mind's eye or feel through or get insights through different modalities, pardon me. I think you're really the kind of, I'm getting Lady Justice with the eyes covered and just feeling the energy and sort of moving with what you feel internally. And it feels very mystical and groovy. So let's look at what your cards say. Okay. So what I'm seeing for you, pile number 2, is that you really need to trust and believe in your internal guidance system and in your intuition. And it's kind of wild to me that I'm even saying this to you right now, because when I was feeling into this pile, y'all are so intuitive. But for some reason, there's this feeling of like you almost talk yourself out of how intuitive you really are. You're very much divinely led. You probably see a lot of angel numbers. 27 is also significant for this pile. That was a number for pile number 1. Okay. So yeah, 27, 11, 11, 12, 12. The date October 20th might have been significant for you in some way and somehow. Check into what you were doing around that time. Pile number 2, your energy needs to be focused. Truthfully, I feel like there is an imbalance in your root chakra. And it's showing up with how stable you feel on a day-to-day life, more so with your 3D world. And I think that in order to really be in a balanced healing place right now, it's like this very interesting thing. I think you rely heavily on your intuition, yet you haven't fully embraced it. Yet you haven't fully accepted that this is a real thing for you. There's part of you, wow. You may be a water sign, a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces. So naturally, you're very intuitive. Okay, baby, I get it. Okay. You're naturally, since day one, you have been just flowing through your life, feeling your way through life, but you haven't actually named what this is for you. And this is your intuition. And it doesn't have to be this woo-woo, supernatural, scary thing. There's a lot more science and studies being done on the intuition now in recent years than there ever has been before, with more conversations around consciousness and what have you. I feel like I'm talking to a group of people who are very interested in these things, but maybe don't have like a direct path or idea of how to really make sense of it. And you've kind of just been winging it, feeling very much influenced energetically by your world. I see you as somebody who's surrounded by pets and having a lot of pet energy. And this is really good, and this is really healing for you, actually. And I see that this is a very prominent part of what's going to feel like healing to your body, mind, and soul. And you're getting yourself a little bit more grounded, rooted, or stable, or you're at least realizing that that's something that is necessary for you, because it seems like your inner world has been your whole world for quite some time now. And you're noticing where there was a disruption to the inner world. Yes, and the card disruption is here, unfortunately, my friends. That there was a disruption to what you're feeling in your inner world that created a disruption reflected back at you from your physical world. So this to me looks tangible, like your home life. This could be bills, this could be finances, this could be just overall how abundant you're feeling in your 3D physical world. So I'm seeing that for you, collective, you're really looking at ways for you to find some kind of emotional stability to be the foundation for what creates a lot of stability externally in your life at the current moment. I see that you're really committed to something. Something is very serious to you, and very much you're just so committed to it. I do feel like there was a feeling of betrayal or just a really shocking event that occurred There's this feeling of like, I don't know. There's this interesting feeling about something being worth the risk, being worth the risk of maybe putting yourself out there, being worth the risk of like having something emotional come up. And I just want to say that there is for sure this need to put yourself first. It's time for you to really put yourself first. Return energy to sender and pray that whatever was being really just disruptive to your internal world, and this whatever this distraught feeling is that was showing up in your internal world, whatever does not belong to you, it's being sent back to the sender for their own personal growth so that you can focus on your healing and your personal growth. This is not to say like, let's see, I'm really just seeing that you're maybe a very loving people pleaser. Sorry, forgive me for my bluntness, but that's what's coming through. You might also be somebody who's always around people or having to be highly social, and putting yourself first, your self-care, and taking care of your internal world. I'm seeing like mental health being really important and significant. This is not selfish. It's not too much to ask. And it's something you need to be very diligent around. But also do things that are good for you, like yes, asking for divine help, praying on things, praying that things will be healed within yourself, within the world around you, within your environment around you, because we have eagle medicine showing up here for you, collective, to let you know that whatever you are praying about has the potential to be answered, but you need to create that foundation within yourself first and foremost. You need to really come back to yourself and come inward and build a foundation, a sturdy foundation, a solid foundation within yourself. I think taking a vacation or taking a trip might be significant for you, and also noticing that how you're doing when things kind of switch up and change. A quote comes to mind before I let you go, pile two. That curveballs or disruptions in plans are just dancing lessons from God. And I want you to think about this time in your life right now as just a new choreography, a new dance routine that's being thrown at you, not to derail you from everything you're praying for and everything you're wanting in your life, but to actually get you to get those steps down so that you can truly have that. A trip, a travel might be significant for you, collective. I also see hypnosis being really helpful for you. If you're somebody who's feeling very stuck in their internal world right now, try doing a hypnosis for breaking like a negative thought pattern or anxious thinking or whatever it is that is going on with your internal world that's keeping you in a place. I'm seeing that you might have had like a disruptive with the heart. A breakup might have been significant. Some kind of feeling of just betrayal or emotional shock. So I really want you to take care of yourself emotionally, mentally, and know that you are so, so loved, pile two. I do plan to pull cards all through this winter and through 1212 portal, where we're going to see all the beautiful blessings in our life that are there in our life, always will be in our life, whether we're going through difficult times or not and having trouble seeing them. We're going to connect to that, and we're going to expand, and we're going to grow through that. And like I was saying, like right now, it's time for you to take care of you. And I hope that my card pullings through this, portal and through the next winter will give you some insight and some soul food for thought on how you can really connect to that. So I'm sending you lots of love in, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, pile three. I want to just drop into this energy with you very intentionally, because that's the energy that I am getting from this pile. You might have listened to some of the other piles. You might listen to all the piles because that's the kind of person that you are. You might be interested in just getting as much information, really listening through and kind of discerning for yourself what's for you and what's meant for you or what's not meant for you. I see you being very much a thinker. I see you being very pragmatic. You're very practical. I think you're somebody who wants to have, ooh, okay. Interesting. You like to have information, data, logistics. You are very much about all of that, seeing everything in front of you, weighing out all of your options. I see you as somebody who has a very difficult time with thinking intuitively. If I'm being completely honest, when I was feeling into the energy for your pile number 3, I had trouble finding your cards because there was like this overthinking, or actually, if I'm being completely real, this sort of numbness, a sort of shutdown to anything that would feel very much like an internal guidance system that feels like if I just put all my thoughts to the side, if I don't think about what the data tells me or what the plan was, what feels right. That kind of way of thinking is never been your modality. It feels freaky and it feels stupid, to be quite honest. I'm getting Virgo energy. I would laugh if that came out, but that's kind of like the archetype that comes to mind when I think about this collective of like just you're very much in your head, and this can be a benefit to you in a lot of ways, and I recognize that. But there's definitely ways that this negatively impacts you. So let's look at your cards. Okay. Yeah, so right away I'm seeing that. Ooh, listen to those wind chimes. Taking time to really be still and in quiet or connect with your inner world is very necessary in order for you to not necessarily like find an inner voice or speak to the divine or anything like that, but just to quiet your fucking thoughts, my friend. Like at the very bottom of that, that's what I'm seeing. Okay, so you are somebody who needs to take some chances in your life, and that might be a really freaky thought. You are not into the idea of taking chances unless you know that without a doubt the odds are in your favor. And because of that, I see that it's kind of difficult for you sometimes to think about what's ahead. It's sometimes challenging for you to really see too far into the future. You would think it would be the other way around because you have all these plans and you have all of these numbers that back up your plans and so on and so forth. But in reality, you realize that some of these things require you to take chances and to roll the dice, but that feels scary for you. And because you can't find yourself in a place of taking those chances, you're not sure how you're going to be able to move forward or what's going to be ahead for you. This is very specific. Bear with me, my friends. Because of this pace that you're operating from, being very much in your head, overthinking, or maybe this is just how you have been lately. Maybe this isn't always you, but it kind of feels like it is. You have been looking back. You're looking in the rear view a lot. You're looking back on things and questioning things, considering other ways you could have gone about it. Still, it's all coming from this headspace. You're just in your head thinking. Let's see. I want you to know. Ooh. Card went flying onto the floor and I can't pick it up because I have long fake nails. Okay. what I was about to say though was the odds are always in your favor. I know this is not what you want to hear. Like, you're like, be for real. But like, you're never off your path. You might not be an active listener. You might be somebody just kind of hanging out, or maybe you pop in here and there. I sense a little bit of skepticism, and that's okay. I'm not here to force beliefs or ideas onto you. Just take whatever feels good, and whatever doesn't feel good, your subconscious refuses anyway, so it's no harm, no foul. I see that you are somebody who might be a little bit hard on themselves. Or you might be someone who has a false belief about themselves. And I see you as somebody who spends a lot of time looking in the mirror, not to say that you're vain or anything, but you sit there and you're like thinking. You're like thinking about things you want to fix. You're thinking about your day ahead and what you're going to say. You're thinking about, like, you're just thinking. And it kind of gives off this air in your life that makes you seem like somebody who kind of struggles with communicating. Sometimes there's things that need to be revised, or there's like issues sometimes with communication. And I see this is really where you need to focus your energy at the current moment, is really how you connect, how you communicate, how you are overthinking so many things in your life that it's bringing you out of balance. You might be somebody who wears a chain. And yeah, I do want to just say that what is happening for you internally with your energy is that it's so much in your head, so much thinking that, you know, you're not taking enough chances in your life. It's bringing you out of balance. I do feel like you feel like your luck is out in some place, or like your luck ran out in something. This might be due to the Mercury retrograde. Things might have been shifting and changing for you in the last like few weeks and might feel a little bit wonky. You actually might be somebody who has let's see. I was getting a lot of Virgo energy, but I am seeing air sign and it feels relevant. So you might be somebody who's a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And this Mercury retrograde kind of throws you off or trips you up a little bit. And that's okay. I do think that you're learning something significant through this Mercury retrograde. And in the next couple of weeks, you're going to have things make more sense to you. And because of things tripping you up a little bit, yeah, I do feel like, okay, you are looking, Virgo, I knew it. You are looking for answers in things that at one point did not make sense to you and you would never have really even entertained or thought of. Hence why you might be on my reading for the very first time. And if that's not you and you are listening along, you're just somebody who kind of listens very like open-mindedly, but in your own life and in your own internal intuition, like you just don't see it necessarily as like in your face as some of the other people here in the collective. And that's just your experience. But you're not completely turned off to the idea of like a passed on loved one maybe like looking after you, or the idea of like an angelic spirit, like an angelic guardian angel type. Like those things don't completely make you just your logical brain just like take over and like shut it down. There are things that you've experienced in your life that have created this feeling of like, sometimes there are things that I can't explain. And it's when you're in these moments when things are feeling unclear, or when you feel like maybe you've done a bad job on something, or maybe you're like being too hard on yourself, you're over analyzing, you're over critiquing yourself, that you just start to be in a place where you're like, okay, maybe I am wrong. Maybe I am, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but there's a stubbornness to you where you kind of have to get to a point where you finally open up and you're like, okay, actually, woo! Talk about open up. The wind just blew open that door. Okay, so I can't even that scared me a little bit. And I feel like that sort of, don't shut, this is gonna slam shut. Ah! Okay, it didn't. It didn't. Let me pause real quick and fix that before I let you go, collective. I think there is some significance to this where you felt like that kind of door for you, that kind of like luck, that kind of like spiritual purpose, that wasn't like a door that was open for you. But you're having experiences and moments that you can't really explain, and you're starting to kind of open yourself up to that. And I want to just say that the cards here really want that for you. I think that there's a Sagittarius in your life or some fire sign, but I'm seeing a notion for Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius are the fire signs, but again, really seems like a focus on Sagittarius. Somebody with that in their chart, or their big three, played a part in you feeling like, I'm kind of curious about this, or I'm kind of interested in this. And I do see that by you opening or having that curiosity puts you in a place of being on a new path, like a door opened up for you. And I see through the 12/12 portal, there might be some like more things that kind of give you specifically, pile 3, that tangible proof is in the pudding type evidence that you're like, holy shit, there might be something to this. This might have been fated. This is like, I feel like something from my higher self. I prayed for this and I'm not a praying man, that kind of energy. There's something around finances or money. You're being very mindful of like how people interact with you based on money or finances. You are not somebody who wants to get used by any means, and you're not somebody who brings that energy into your relationships. And what I'm seeing in the cards, that's not who you are. But I do see that money in particular is something that you're realizing has a direct impact on a lot of different things, that by following your purpose, you become blessed and highly favored in more ways than one, in the spiritual, in the physical world, like these things start to open up for you. And I think that if you stay in this place of just sheer curiosity, and yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. I see this pile being on a really cool journey of understanding yourself on a collective conscious level and how you connect with other people. And I do see you as somebody who might go on a journey of like understanding your own spiritual belief systems. And I'm really, honestly, I'm feeling grateful and I'm feeling really excited for you, because I see that this is going to be something that really just connects you to your highest and greatest good and makes you feel a little bit more purposeful. And I think this feeling of being afraid to take risks or being stuck in your head or overthinking is really going to start to subside for you. Yeah, I love that for you. So thank you so much for listening to your reading, pile number 3. I plan to pull cards through the winter time, through the 12/12 portal that came out in your reading here. And I'm hoping that there's some soul food for thought, some guidance in there that helps you along that journey. I'm definitely always talking about ways to tap into your intuition, into your highest and greatest path, to follow your soul's purpose. So I do hope that you will listen along some more, and this isn't your first and only time. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay, pile 3. I'm going to try not to rush through this pile because I don't want you to feel like I'm just rushing through because you're at the end and it's getting long. So first and foremost, I see you being a really deep thinking and deep feeling person. I will just say throughout all these piles, we've got some really cool people who are very intentional and really thoughtful. And I see you being somebody who is very much that way, but you're somebody who feels like this sense of direction that comes from your being. Like you feel it in your heart, like truly. When you're one of those people, when you say that, like you literally have a sensation in your heart space where you're like, I had to do it out of the kindness of my heart. That's the person you are. Or when you have a feeling of like a sense of right or wrong, it's like this big burning feeling in your body. You're somebody who's very internally connected to their body felt sensations. Whether you have a deep awareness of that, that is how you move through the world. This is a beautiful, beautiful gift. And a lot of people strive to feel this, and this might just be your primary way of operating. What's beautiful is I think a lot of these piles really speak to how we all connect to our intuition in our own unique and individual way, and how our intuition is trying to guide us towards more healing, more purpose, and to be more intentional. And I see you, 41 might be significant for you, collective, being a pile that is just intentional. And you're striving to be even more intentional, but it's like, it almost feels like so uncomfortable in your literal body to not be living, acting, and being. I see like a person of spiritual intent, of integrity, being a man of their word, or, you know, an honest woman. Like those things really matter to you because it literally makes your skin crawl to be anything else. And let's just see what the cards here say about where you can use some healing. So you are somebody who has a lot of personal power. You're somebody who's very deeply connected to their sense of self, which is why it's so easy for you to be like, no, that's wrong. That was what they did to that person was not okay. You have like this very, very deep moral compass and sense of integrity about you. And it's not that other people don't have it, but you also carry and possess the inner confidence and the personal power to speak on these things and to act on these things. I see you as someone with a lot of crown energy, crown, like a healthy crown chakra, but not only that, but like a position of leadership. People look to you and rely on you. Because you're somebody who not only wants to get something done, but you want to get something done in a way that leads to everybody's best benefit. I'm getting very humanitarian vibes from you. I see that you are very much divinely guided. You really love to follow the messages from spirit that show up to you. I also see you being somebody who intends to bring about change with their leadership and with their influence. So like I said, not only are you somebody who has like a lot of spiritual integrity, but you also are in a position of power, but you're not the kind of person who would use that power or even really embodies like this energy of a powerful person. You're the kind of leader who people feel comfortable talking to and discussing things with, or being vulnerable and open with. I see that you've overcome a lot of very difficult things in your life, things that you may not even want to speak on. And this has led you to be the kind of person who's used life as their teacher. But you also had a lot of mentorship and guidance along the way. And I see you as somebody who's now going to pass that on to other people. I see that, I think this is the collective cardinal medicine might be significant for you. Yes, intuition. So let's see. You are somebody who has learned time and time again what happens when you ignore your intuition or ignore red flags, and things will come back. They always end up coming back to bite you in the tush later. You know what happened. Whoa, wow, the card just jumped out. They'll be back. Wow. You know that if you don't close the loop, if you don't close out cycles, if you don't, like I said, you're somebody, when you feel on something, you speak on it. You're not just, you're intentional though. You're not going to just like recklessly spit something that you felt intuitively. You're somebody who might mull things over. You might meditate. You might ask for spiritual or divine guidance on a situation that you had intuitive notions around before you even discuss it or speak on it or anything like that. And because of that, you're very easy to see. It's very easy for you to see when something is a pattern or a cycle. Yes, but you're also aware that even cycles and patterns are fated. They are there to help us evolve and learn things. And you're not afraid of, what I'm seeing is karma. You're not afraid of karma because you move with integrity. You're not afraid of a cycle repeating itself because you have become somebody who knows how to break cycles and knows that when a cycle shows up, it's there for your evolution. And you're not somebody who's spinning around in circles doing people wrong, and when things come back, you're scared. No. You are the kind of person who's like, I'm excited for what's to come back to me because I've been putting beautiful, loving energy out into the world, and it's about damn time. Okay? So I do see like something is coming back, something is moving in the direction of you, and there may be things that have to do with cycles, but I see that this is the time of a new beginning. I see that this is a time when you're going to have to be really open and operating from the heart space. Interesting. Wow, okay. There might be something regarding the home life and the home situation that creates a need for you to put up boundaries. But in all actuality, you realize that what is best for you and what is right for you is to be an open heart, to be someone who is loving, to be someone who is accepting and empathetic of others. But you find yourself in this kind of back and forth, like seesaw of like needing to put up your boundaries, needing to kind of close yourself off, or at least that's how it used to be for you. And you're realizing now that that is a cycle that you put yourself in, and you're in a place in your life where that's no longer really healthy or useful for you. I do see something significant with the home life. A change of residence may have really been significant in your path or around this whole thing that you're healing and working through. Boundaries are very much important to you. I know that boundaries have definitely kept you safe and helped you preserve that sense of personal power that you are deeply and completely, like, really in connection with. Now, though, it's time for you to see where they might be too rigid, in a way for you to really be able to be open, be loving, be really true to yourself. I see that you've planted seeds around something particular, and you are on a path towards something in particular, but you're still figuring yourself out in a lot of ways. I do see Pisces is significant here. You might have been somebody who is listening to all the piles, and that's really cute if you were. I always appreciate people who like to listen through everything. I hope that you're discerning what is for you. It could all be for you. I'm not going to put that past any of my collective. But yeah, you're on a path towards something, and you realize that You have a lot of potential to really make a big impact and influence on your communities, around your families, step into a place of leadership. And those are things that are really important to you. I see a party being significant, and really showing you maybe your star power and really how divinely led you are to be who you are, to be in the people that you're with, to be in the environments that you're in. And there's certain things when it comes to just how to work with your energy around this. Pile number 4, I'm really seeing that you got to take it one day at a time. Every day, in every situation, every relationship, dynamic, whatever, is going to require you to be adaptable and to shift what is right for you. Some people are not worthy and deserving of your energy, and you are aware of that. But it's also important for you to discern when it's safe for you to open up and it's safe for you to, yeah, just be in that open, loving, ooey gooey spot. But I do see that you have a lot of fear that cycles might come back up and things might resurface, or some feeling of like you missed a red flag. There's a little bit of a hypervigilance feeling going on here for you, collective. And I just want to let you know that the divine is truly guiding your steps and guiding you on this path. You are exactly where you're meant to be on this path. Take it one day at a time when it comes to learning how to readjust your boundaries in order for you to really show up where you need to show up and really be, yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna be pulling cards all through the winter and through the 12/12 portal. I see you, pile number 4, being somebody who has been doing the portal work, and has been at least moving through the last few months with a lot of intention, a lot of integrity. You might be manifesting something. You might have a specific intention around something that you're trying to call in at the current moment. I would be honored and privileged to read the cards for you through this 12/12 portal and in through the winter to give you some cosmic insights on how to take that journey gracefully. And with that being said, I'm sending you all my love in, and I'll talk to you soon.